Hello, everybody. This is Greg Maurice filling in for Paul. Paul will be back next week. This is Zaka Presents My Journey. We are creating this vulnerable and positive platform where you can get inspired and motivated from different leaders from our community. Today, our guest is Tiago de SiIva, who's a partner at New York Life Insurance Company. I have known you for more than 8 years, and I see all the amazing things that you're doing. But before we start that, can you tell us about your background and where did you grow up and when did you move to the States?
Thank you for having me here. I'm very well, thank you. I hope you guys are well as well. So my background, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a former athlete. I used to be a swimmer and a soccer player. And I'm also a musician. And now I'm a financial advisor with a New York Life Insurance Company.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And we came to United States for vacationing in 1995 was the first time that I came here. Mm-hmm. And I have been vacationing ever since.
Got it. So how was life for you in Brazil? Because you mentioned like you're an athlete. What kind of sports did you play?
Well, my dad was a professional soccer player and I grew up doing all kinds of sports. But I ended up staying as a competitive sports. I stay as a swimmer and a soccer player. So since I'm like 6 years old, I'm in a competitive setting. So my life was kind of different than the other kids because we had meets every weekend. I had to go to practice every day, and it's kind of helped. Not deviate to the south, I would say, because Brazil is very easy for you to go and go to the wrong side of life and things can turn very bad for us over there. But my life in Brazil was pretty easy. My parents, they had a very good careers, and I never had to work. I never had to pay any bills. I never struggled, let's say like that. It was about going to practice, going to school, going to the beach, and have fun with my friends when I had time.
So what did you want to become like when you were young?
When I was young, I wanted to become someone that worked in a suit because I used to see my daddy leave the house every day in a suit, and I was like, wow, I want to be like him. And I wanted to be a cop. That was what I really wanted to be because I always watch these cartoons, He-Man and these hero cartoons, and I always wanted to save people, save others, help others. And I went to law school there, in fact, to become a federal police, but I ended up moving down here.
Oh, okay. So in the beginning, like you mentioned about like obviously like growing up in Brazil, it's easy for you to basically, follow the wrong crowd and not follow the path that your parents, wanted for you. So what are some of the things that, for some of the listeners, they might not know, like, how life is in Brazil. Like, what are some of the things that your parents were trying to get you to stay away from?
So in Brazil, especially in Rio de Janeiro, inequality is huge, right? Mm-hmm. And evil and good, they sleep together, and it's because the inequality is huge. It's way less wealthy people than poor people. So you are exposed to the bad all the time, mm-hmm. right? And it's very easy for you to deviate to the bad because you see more this happening. And in Rio, you are the hunter or the prey, right? So
right.
You have to decide in which who you want to be, and it's very easy to be the hunter if you are in the wrong side because it's way more people right? Doing bad things than doing good things. So if let's say if you live in a bad neighborhood in New York, let's say Bronx or Jamaica or Harlem, you are more exposed to this to the opportunities to deviate yourself from the right path because you see that things more.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So when you moved to the States, how was life for you? What were some of the challenges that you faced, like in the beginning?
So first you gotta understand why I come here, right?
Uh-huh.
We used to come vacationing because my dad used to be a big boss in an airplane company, right? And
Yep.
my mom worked for the bank. As a matter of fact, she retired in this bank, and life was pretty good for us there. And all of a sudden, my dad had a bankrupt. His company bankrupted because of 2001 September 11 attack. So all the major airplane companies crashed, and his company crashed too. And at the beginning, they didn't want to lower uh, um, the level of the life that we had. They don't want to take us to quit school. They don't want to move from a different area. They wanted to keep the same lifestyle, and they immersed themselves in debt. So in that time, my daddy couldn't see another way out other than come to United States to stay because we have been coming to United States since the 90s for vacation, so we knew a lot of people here.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I think that's my only option is go in there and start from the bottom. And he did. He left Brazil in 2002. My mother had to go to DC, Brasilia, to work. And I was by myself taking care of Tayane, my sister, that's your friend, by ourselves in Rio. So got to a point that our financial situation is completely depleted. So when we were living in a nice area, in a great neighborhood, but we're going through all the challenges that someone that doesn't have money has. So knowing United States, knowing how I was here, I spoke to my mom and I said, listen, I think me and Tata, we should go with Daddy to United States. And we decided to go, we came. Now, when we arrived here, the first challenge was being away from your home, being away from your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
being away from your safety, I would say. Because now you don't have a home, you're basically staying in a friend's house. You basically, I was sleeping with my dad in a 100 square foot bedroom, you know,
Wow.
and after being a lawyer in Brazil, playboy, come to United States to start from the bottom. So the biggest challenge first was staying away from the house, from my home, from my family, having to learn a completely new language.
Mm-hmm.
Although I was doing English course in Brazil, it's never the same. When you're here, you have to carry on a conversation.
Right.
I was like, what? Oh, yes. So I worked all holidays. I worked all overtime because the only thing that I knew how to say was yes. So I didn't understand that the guy was saying, okay, you're working weekends, you're working overtime, you're working holidays. I was like, yes. And yeah, that was one challenge to learning English. And the other challenge was having to start all over again. My first job here, after being a lawyer in Brazil, playboy, dishwashing. That was how I started, and that was one of the biggest challenges. And I am proud to say that I went through this because it made me evolve into a better being, made me grow into a different person, and I was able to overcome this main challenge when we moved here.
Yeah, that's a great thing you just said. And what did you learn? What did you learn about yourself after having like obviously like a comfortable uh lifestyle back in Brazil, and you seeing like all the struggles that your parents were having and going in debt, and for you to come to the US and to start, at the bottom. So what did you have? What did you learn about yourself, like going through that process?
Well, I learned about resilience. I learned about we can do anything we want if we set our minds to do it, right? Instead of be crying here, which I did a lot, crying because I was missing my family, crying because I was missing the home. Um, People treating you bad because you were just a dishwasher, you were just a bus boy, or you were just, you know, and everything that I had in Brazil, now I'm in a different place. I besides not having everything that I not having anything that I had in Brazil, now I'm just that person that migrates from a bad attitude, a best attitude to look for better opportunities. But what you learn is you can do it. What you learn is you are capable. We are capable to do more than we think we are. People don't realize that. So many people, they say, "Oh my God, I'm not gonna do it because I don't know." They doubt themselves. And when you are there, and you have to do it because you have to pay the rent, you have to eat, you have to keep going. Otherwise, you can become homeless.
Right.
Forces you to do it, because my dad at that point, after being a big boss in an airplane company, two secretaries, he was being a kitchen helper, people that just cuts vegetables in a ski resort, making $30 a day, you know. And when you see that everybody's like trying to make ends meet, either you make ends meet or you become homeless, that's when you see your capacity. That's when you see that you are bigger than you think you are. So what I tell people is no matter where you see yourself right now, do it, jump on it, make the decision to get out of your comfort zone, because you only grow when you get out of your comfort zone. And then I learned that I'm someone that I can overcome challenges, and I can now I'm capable to do anything that any challenge that come to me, I trust myself that I will overcome it.
Yeah, it seems like resiliency. It's always like a quality that a lot of our leaders who come to this platform, they always talk about resiliency. Like for yourself, like before, like yeah, you got to New York Life Insurance. What were like some of those like random jobs that you have to do? Basically, like you said, like basically you have to, you don't want to be homeless and you have to eat. So what were like some of those jobs that you did before like you got to New York Life?
That's a lot of jobs. So first job that I had in here was construction helper. A friend of ours that used to know us from soccer gave me that job. It was to help with the construction, sweeping, general construction. He paid me $60 a day. Then after that, I did dishwashing when I was already know a little bit of English. I applied for a restaurant and they gave me the dishwashing job. I remember it was to make $8 a day, $80 a day. And then I did moving company. And then I did that little bikes in Central Park. I was to ride the bikes, taking people around for the loop.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes. And then I did all kinds of construction, demolition. And then I did, like I said, moving company, and then waiter, bus boy, host. And then I went to California, and then in California, I stayed in the restaurant industry, long time in a moving company, and then I cleaned boats. I did underwater hull cleaning. When you have to be a diver, you dive and you clean the boats underwater.
Oh
I did
wow.
that for a couple of years as well. And then I did the donation these boxes that they donate clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I drove a truck where I had a route. I had to collect all these clothes, put inside the truck. When I have 6,000 pounds of clothes there, I had to go to a place and take the entire clothes out. Was a job that killed my back, and they made us sign a form saying they were not going to sue them in case we had our health diminished by the job. And yeah, pretty much. And then I did driver. I drove a cab, and then you see that I started to work myself up, and then I ended up going to school. Ended up going to school for a associate in business, and I graduated. And after that, I decided that I'm not going to work to anybody. I'm going to work for myself. And I started a business, or a livery business. Like, I bought a car and I started driving for Uber. And then after that, I graduated in school here, and I applied to work for New York Life as a salesman, and it worked. And 5 years later, I have been with New York Life for 5 years so far. Bought a house and a family, and the American dream is on.
Oh my God, this is impressive. So, so you're currently like a partner at New York Life Insurance. Yeah, can you explain to us, like, obviously the audience, what New York Life Insurance is, and basically, like, what do you do for them?
Yeah, New York Life is the number one mutual, because we're not public. We don't have stockholders, a private company. Clients are the owners. We're the number one mutual life insurance company in the US. The company has been around since the Civil War. It's 177 years of existence, best ratings in the industry. And what we do is we help people protect their family, which is the life insurance. We have many type of investments: safe, moderate, or aggressive. We have long-term care. We have retirement planning. So we help people get to their goal. So we see where clients are, where they want to be, and we build that bridge, and we use our products based upon what they want. We use our products to assist them to get where they are. So we have basically all the financial planning for all the financial needs. So the company has been for 177 years helping people sleep better, helping people protect their family, helping people plan for their retirement, helping people invest their money and stash some money for the future, helping people navigate the tax code. Because if you think about taxes, taxes are the biggest blocker of wealth, right? So we have strategies where you don't pay taxes to the government, right? So it's an amazing career. I'm very proud to be part of New York Life.
No, that's great, because I know a lot of our listeners, like, they're always like want to learn more about financial literacy, and they have like financial questions, like when is like the ideal time, like, to start planning for your finances?
Well, I would say the earlier the better, because when you start to plan early, you have time for your money to grow. The biggest mistake that we see a lot of people doing is when they realize that they will basically outlive their savings, because people live longer nowadays. It's already 55, 60 years old, and they don't have time for their money to grow. So you see themselves running out of money, living longer than their money. So what I do is I prevent people to go through that struggle. So I would say as early as possible, and I would say have a better financial education, because many people, they don't start something early, not because they don't have money, it's just because they choose not to put aside a little bit of their savings. If you think about all the people that tell us, "Oh, I never started because I don't have money," is basically not true because they have money for Starbucks. They have money for eating out. They have money for having a couple of drinks. So when you think about the money that we spend with nothing that's going to come back to you, if you spend $1,000 a month, you can put $100, $150, $200 for yourself to grow. So it's very easy. There are people that drink 3 Starbucks a day, drink 2, save 1. The money that you're going to spend on 1 Starbucks a day is the money that you're going to put aside. So that type of mentality, everybody should have as early as possible. I would say teenagers, get a piggy bank, start to stash something. If your parents gave you $20, save 5, spend 15, and use that same mentality with everything in your life.
Right. So what advice would you have, like, for instance, like a single person, like in their like early 30s, like making over like 100 grand a year, but they don't know how to invest their money? Because sometimes, like, I think you mentioned that, like, some folks, like, they have the money, but they just don't know how to invest, and they don't know who to trust. So what advice would you give that person?
Well, first you need to protect yourself. That's number one. You can't go about investing your money if you don't even have a protection, something in case, God forbid, something happens to you. You're going to have to basically lose all your assets because you don't have a small protection. After you protect yourself, you go about learning what types of investments are available according to your goals, right? If you want a short-term goal, you need to do something a little risky. If you want a mid-term goal, something moderate. And if it's a long-term goal, you put in something safe. So what they say is 10% of your savings should go to risky. You're basically gambling. And we have a lot of things nowadays that's easy to do. Cryptos, stock market. And this money should be only 10%. And you should, of course, speak to a specialist because you don't want to just throw money where without understanding how it works. 20% of your savings should go to something moderate, not very risky, but not completely safe. You have a little risk there, a little safety there, and it's short. It's not long term, it's moderate term. And 70% of your savings, which is the most important of all the layers, would be invest in long-term safe investments, meaning you're never going to lose their money. Of course, you're going to have to wait, but you never lose your money. And what should you invest in this type of products? Your retirement, college funding for your kids, money for you to start a business, money for you to put a down payment. All these things that's important to reach your goals should be in the long-term part of investments where you're never going to lose their money. You have to wait a little bit, of course. And most important is not only put your money in places that you're never going to lose, but also find ways where you will grow your money and you're not going to lose to the government in taxes. Because most of the money that people make, the government, they take a bite.
Right.
So it's not only save, it's make the money work for yourself and not spend the growth with taxes. So I have a couple of vehicles where you can put the money there, safe, tax-free. So if any of your listeners want to speak with me offline regarding this, if it's coming from the podcast, I would give them a free consultation to learn where they are, where they want to be, if we can build a bridge and help them out to reach their goal.
No, thank you for doing that, even for offering that. I appreciate that. So from your experience, like, what are the biggest challenge you see facing, like, entrepreneurs, like business owners, like, who have like an immigrant background?
The biggest challenge that I see among immigrants, it's the fear to get out of the comfort zone. So you see, many of us, when we come here, we are illegals, right? And we are basically doing these odd jobs. Then you make money, you learn the culture, you learn the language, you grow. Now you're legal, you have ability to invest in yourself, get a degree, start your own business or work for someone in a regular job where it gives you all the perks of a regular job. But people still keep doing the odd job because they are afraid of the getting out of the comfort zone. They are afraid of the new. So what I tell immigrant fellows that comes to this country, invest in yourself, try, take the risk, apply for that job, start your own business, pay the fee, learn the legislation, see what you are good. Because we immigrants, because of the fact that we grew in a third world company, we have many experience that would add value to America.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily talking bad about our jobs because I did a lot, but we can add value to companies and make good money and be in the work with a regular job, growing, evolving. You can hire someone that needs a job to keep doing your job for you, but you have to invest in yourself and take the risk. And what I see people here, the challenge here is with us. It's not with the company. It's not with the country. Because the United States, it's a very welcoming company. If you want to make it happen here, you can. You still can. So that's I think is the biggest challenge when immigrants come here. They see some place they are making $150 to $200 a day. They stay there forever. They don't try to grow.
I know, like, for most people, like, talking about money or even like to get like a financial advisor, like, it's such a hard thing because most people, they don't want people to know like what's in the bank account. Like, for you, like, how do you build trust with your clients?
Well, in the beginning of the career, you basically go with friends and family, people that you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go with referrals, right?
Mm.
But when I get a referral that I never knew the referral, I don't know the person.
Mm-hmm.
To break that ice, you have to make them feel comfortable with you, right? Everything that we suggest, it's not one product fits all, right? You have to suggest according to what they are looking for, what are their goals. And based upon what they're sharing with you they want to do, it's when you will build a realistic plan where you will suggest suitable products to their goal. Now, to understand that, you need to do a fact finding. You need to know what is in their mind, what they want. And with the fact finding comes question that, like you said, people are not willing to share. So I think the best way to understand what they need is to have an informal conversation. Informal conversation. Open questions. How can I help you? What are you looking for? What do you need? What do you intend to get out of this meeting? Instead of how much money you make, how much money you have in the bank. Because when you ask their questions, that way they know you don't want to know how much money they have. You don't want to know what's going on in their financial lives because you won't take advantage of them. No, you just want to understand where they are and where they want to be, right? Because I can't suggest anything to you if you don't tell me what do you want, because I have everything. And that's the way I think is the way to be fair and always put your clients first, don't think about what you're going to gain out of the meeting. It's about helping your client to cover the need that they may have. And that's why I started this career, because I love helping others. I love helping people. And when you are crystal clear and you know your craft and you know what you're doing, you make the client be comfortable enough to share things that they wouldn't share if they didn't feel comfortable trusting you.
So, you just said something like, why do you pride yourself like to help, other people like financially? What does that come, where does that come from? Like, did you learn that from your parents? Like why do you love doing that?
Well, I think we came to this life, the whole purpose of life, in my perspective, is serve others. That's the main thing. When you come to this life and then you serve others, I think you get closer to fulfilling your mission. That's a path that people should, at some point in life, many of people, they realize the whole purpose of life is to assist, to serve, to help. And this career, when I receive a call of someone saying, Tiago, unfortunately, my husband passed away, but I'm calling you to thank you for coming here 3 years ago and putting in place a protection. If it were not by you, we wouldn't be able to keep the house. I would be living with rent or going back to my family house with 3 kids, and I want to thank you, right? Or, Tiago, I'm calling you to invite you to my son's graduation. Thanks to that meeting we had 6 years ago, we put a college fund in place for him. I was able to pay the last 2 years of his college. So when you receive that calls, it's how you realize, it's when you realize how important this career is. And if you think about it, when I am helping people from my community to be financially healthy, I'm basically giving back to my community because I'm helping people to get their things together. And there is not a better career and a better feeling when you are making an income assisting others, right? Because I see many sales careers, you are basically trying to sell something to someone that they can live without.
Mm-hmm.
This type of career that I do, this type of job that I do, I'm guaranteeing the well-being of a family, right?
That's right. Yeah.
People need the services we offer. And when I'm able to protect someone to incur distress, to incur struggle, I sleep better. I'm happy.
So what's next for you? Because what are your goals? Obviously, like you're at New York Life Insurance, like great career. So what are your goals like for the next 5 years? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, I'm taking my designations to become a retirement planner register. I just joined 2 clubs here in the little town that I bought a house. I joined the Lions Club. It's a club where you basically help others with everything in your community.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make any money. You're just there to help. You volunteer to help with many different causes.
Mm-hmm.
I joined the Knight of Columbus. It's a organization from the Catholic Church with the same mission and core values, where it's an organization that donates, helps others in need. And my goal is to be a resource to my little town, financial resource, and be known in the town here and help as many people as I can. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for the next 5 years, to be a well-known person and to always be able to explore new ventures, new ventures,
Mm-hmm.
and grow to a point that I can help as many people as I can. I may be the community leader or someone that has more power to help everyone that are in need.
That's great that you're always about helping others. So that's amazing that you're doing that, even when not at work, even like for from your community. So kudos to you for doing that. So can you explain the process of becoming like a licensed financial professional like yourself? Like if somebody from the audience, like they are interested like to become like or be like you, like what is the process like?
The process is it's simple. You have to first to see if the core values and the mission of the career aligns with your mission and your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some people that they don't care about what the company does, right? There are some people that they can't deal with rejection, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are not people's person. This career, you have to be a people's person. You have to
Right.
be able to carry on a conversation. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to deal with the ups and downs in the career. But I would say if anyone wants to become a financial professional with my company, connect with me and I can explain. But basically, you need to first of all have the desire to be in this industry. Number two, you have to find a mentor, someone that can lead you, someone that can share their experience with you, and someone that are willing to take you under their umbrella and show you everything. Then you have to take your licensing, and after you take your licensing, you have to be willing to learn, because in this career, every day is a learning. Every day is a learning. Everything changes every day. So you have to be willing to put your sleeves up and start to invest in yourself, which is learning and development.
That's like before I conclude this interview, gotta ask, when you're not helping others at the office, when you're not working, like what do you do for fun, like the hobbies, like what is life like with like the wife and the kids?
Well, I love being a dad. I'm a dad of two now. We may be going to the third one, right?
Oh, okay.
I am the one taking care of my kids too, because my wife she works as well, and she stays 3 days, 4 days out working, and I keep the monsters with me. I love it, but pretty much I try to keep them busy with sports. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
right? I like to be exposed to the sun. I like to cook healthy foods for them and teach them that that's a healthy lifestyle. Um, Sports, like we just went to California right now, and they went surfing with me, playing soccer, playing foot volley, swimming, and we part of shooting clubs, hunting clubs, fishing clubs. So I think the secret is to have a work and lifestyle balance. You can't just work, or just chill. I think you have to find your balance where you work and we enjoy your family. You go on a vacation, you do that trip you want to do. You do if you want to stay sleeping. I mean, doesn't happen to me anymore because I never sleep. But but I think you should be able to have fun. We go to roller skating places. We go to movies. We do. I host people here. Friends come here, barbecue, drink that beer, have friends around. It's just you have to be able to live life fully,
Of
because you
course.
never know what's going to happen. We never
Well,
know. It's
no,
very short, and things can change in a blink of an eye. So I say, enjoy life fully.
of course, yeah, and that's the Brazilian culture. I know how it is. So, Thiago, uh, so for some of our listeners, like, how can they get a hold of you? Like, if they want to reach out and learn more about what you do.
So my cell phone is 858 858-754-6007. 858-754-6007. And my email is Thomas da Silva at ft.newyorklife.com. So T as in Thomas, D as in David, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, I as in Island, L as in Love, V as in Victor, A as in Apple, at FT, F as in Fox, T as in Thomas, dot newyorklife.com, the whole word. Then you guys can reach out to me. Like I said, if you are coming from the podcast, we can have half an hour conversation, 20 minutes conversation free of charge, and we go from there.
I love it. No, thank you for doing that. And also, like, I want to thank you for taking time, like, to come on and, tell us about the journey from being basically like a playboy, a lawyer, Brazil, to come here, like being a bus boy, trying to clean boats, and now look at you being a financial advisor. So this is amazing.
I forgot to mention one job that I did that was like a very growth experience for me. If we have time, I would like to share.
Yeah. What was that? What was it?
I used to be the shoe shine of the bank, right? My dad got this business from a friend. So what we used to do, we used to go to the floors, walk around the calling areas where the people were calling, investing. They give us the shoe. I shine the shoe. I charge $5. They always give 10. And we used to be doing that for 2 years straight. 70 shoes a day. Was a great money. Basically $400 each, tax-free. Right? Of course, we pay tax later on. But was a very interesting story, because when I started my career back in 2017 with New York Life, I came back to Deutsche Bank for a meeting, and the security guys, they knew me. And they were like, what the hell? Shoe shiny guy looking sharp. I was like, I'm not a shoe shiny guy anymore. I work for New York Life right next to you guys, because New York Life building, my office is right next to Deutsche Bank. And the guy said, what? Wait a minute, you're not a shoe shine anymore? I said, no, now I'm a financial agent with New York Life, and I'm going to the 41st floor to speak with the big boss, because we are having a investment meeting. The guy said, oh my God, I want to join New York Life. What I need to do? I said, just try. And that's very interesting, because I came from being the shoe shine guy to be the guy that had the shoe shine.
My God, this is crazy, man. I didn't even know that about that you did that. That is wild. Oh my God, this is kudos to you, man. This is like very an inspiring story. Like, I know like our audience is gonna resonate with your journey. So thank you again, Tiago, like for coming on. Like, if you want to hear more about stories like Tiago, check us out on ZakaConnect.com or follow our feed, Zaka, wherever you listen to your podcast. Tiago, thank you very much for giving us your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. You have a great day.